The New Orleans Saints find themselves at a familiar yet precarious crossroads as the league year begins. With a roster featuring aging stars and a tight salary cap, the front office cannot afford any missteps in their management strategy. That is exactly why the news filtering out of the facility today carries such immense weight for the immediate future of the franchise. Demario Davis is expected to return to the fold on a one-year contract extension worth approximately $8 million. This move provides immediate and much-needed clarity for a defensive unit that looked uncharacteristically lost at various points last season, whenever their veteran leadership was forced off the field for even a handful of snaps. At 35 years of age, Davis continues to defy the typical aging curve that we see for high-impact linebackers in today's NFL. He remains a sideline-to-sideline playmaker who brings a level of intensity and preparation that defines what it means to play for the Saints. The $8 million figure is a fascinating data point in this negotiation. It sits right in that sweet spot for a top-tier veteran who is still performing at an elite level, despite what the calendar might say about his career longevity. For the Saints, this isn't just about filling a hole on the depth chart or checking a box for the roster requirements. It is about keeping the very soul of their defense intact. Davis has been the leading tackler for this team since the moment he arrived in town, and his unique ability to diagnose complex offensive plays before the ball is even snapped is something that you simply cannot replace through the draft or by signing a cheaper, younger free agent. The stability he offers allows the rest of the roster to function with a level of confidence that is hard to quantify but easy to see on the game tape. By locking him in now, the Saints avoid a bidding war and ensure their defensive identity remains consistent heading into a pivotal season. If you appreciate this kind of sober, fact-based analysis without the usual hype, I encourage you to subscribe and join our community of informed fans.
When you step back and look at the broader implications of this deal, you have to acknowledge the handiwork of Mickey Loomis. The Saints general manager has become a master of these high-value, short-term extensions that allow the team to remain competitive in the present while carefully managing the long-term cap consequences. By securing Davis for $8 million on a one-year term, New Orleans is effectively avoiding a long-term financial commitment that could turn into a liability, while simultaneously rewarding the production and loyalty of their most important defensive player. From a purely schematic perspective, having Davis back in the building is a massive win for the coaching staff and the development of the younger players on the roster. He functions as a literal coach on the field, a rare asset in a league where the speed of the game often overwhelms less experienced players. When you have a veteran of his caliber who knows the system inside and out, it allows the defensive coordinator to be much more aggressive with blitz packages and exotic coverage rotations. Davis is the glue that holds the front seven together, and his presence also takes an enormous amount of pressure off the secondary, as his range and pass coverage remains remarkably effective for a player of his tenure. We also have to consider the locker room dynamic. In an era where player movement is the norm and loyalty is often a secondary concern, having a pillar like Davis stay in New Orleans sends a powerful message to every other player in that room. It demonstrates that elite performance and leadership are valued by the front office. However, we must remain realistic and objective. This is a one-year deal for a very specific reason. The organization is fully aware that the physical toll of the linebacker position is immense, and they are protecting themselves against a sudden decline. They are securing their floor for the 2024 campaign, while maintaining the flexibility to pivot if the situation changes. In my professional view, this is the most logical and essential piece of business the Saints could have conducted this week. You do not let a leader of this magnitude walk out the door when your defense is the strongest part of your team. It provides a sense of stability in an otherwise uncertain offseason. But I want to hear your perspective on this. Do you believe $8 million is the right price for a veteran at this stage, or should the Saints have started the transition to a younger core? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this analysis helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more professional insights.